Now, how do I take an input from the user? If you remember, we take an input from the user by saying input, and all I can tell him now is enter a list or enter numbers. I can create a list out of that. Now, input always takes it as a, if you remember, it takes it as a string. It does not take it as a list initially. So it takes it as a string. Okay. If you want, you can print the S, and if you want, you can print the type of S. I'll save this and I'll run this. Enter numbers. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5 space, 6 space, 7 space. Now, what is there in S? S is a string which consists of 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, and so on. It consists of something like that. So, if that is the case, then how do I go about formatting the string in such a way that it gives me a list? And I need a list of each of these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need a list of each of these numbers. Now, they are all part of one string. How do I do it? String methods. In string methods, there is a method called as split. I will split the string s.split. I will split it. And split takes a default parameter of a space. So it will split wherever there is a space. S.split. Let me store that into L and print the L. Let me check what happens. Enter numbers. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5. Enter. Can you see a split operator or a split function? What did it do? The split method converted the string or splitted the string, or in such a way, though that's not the right word, say splitted the string, but still it created it created different numbers. Each of them were added into a list, a mega list. But this list still contained strings. Can you see these strings? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This contains strings. Wow. Now comes my task. What is my task? Can I use these strings to do my purpose? Say for example, the same question that I was doing over here, list examples. The question was, I wanted to find out the square of each of the elements. Let me just define this function out here. I'll call this function here. Let me define it somewhere above. I'll remove all this for now. And I will say, I'll take the string, and all I need to do is whatever L I have got, I'll pass it to this SQR, and I will pass this L, and whatever I get back, I will save it in SQR LST, and let me print the SQR LST. Let me see what happens. Enter numbers. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5 space, 6 space, 7. Enter. What happened? Oh, it says, oh, sorry, if E mod 2, I'll just remove that part out there. Sorry. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5. 6. What does it say? Unsupported operand type for star, which means this cannot be possible. E raised to 2 is not possible because it says E is what? What is E? Every element in this list, what is it? It is nothing but an integer. Sorry, it is nothing but a string. Each of them are strings. I cannot use a power operation, or I cannot use the exponent operator for a string. Hence, I need to convert each of these elements into a what? Into a integer. That's my task, which means I'm not going to call this for now. Each element in L, okay, so that means each element in L needs to be converted into an integer. How will I do it? I can do it again by using something called as list comprehension. For every element in L, what must I do? I must create a new list which contains integer of the element. Convert each of the elements into an integer. And now if I print the LST, let me just say that 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5 space, 6. What do I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is a list of different strings, of different integers, which I got it from the user. So this is how I did. Now if I call the SQR of list, it won't give me a problem. I will pass the list into this SQR function, and I will take the answer into SQR LST, and I will print the SQR LST. Function F5. Cool, just write it down once. Yes, I converted whatever I got from the user. It was a string. That string I split. Wherever there was a space, I split them. And when I split them, it gave me back a list of substrings. And each of these substrings I converted into an integer using list comprehension. And after converting all of them into integers, I passed them to a function which returned to me squares of each of the elements of the list. Hope this is very clearly understood. Yes. Now, this is all about, now you don't need to write so many steps for taking from the user. All I need to do is, I'm going to comment this entire thing out. All of them, I'm going to just put it in one line. So I want a list from the user. How will I take a list from the user? First of all, I'm going to input, say, enter numbers. Now, whatever he gives me, this is going to be what? A string. The input is going to be a string. Input function always takes whatever the user gives as a string. Now, that string I need to split, as we saw here. This particular S which we got, I split here. So I'm going to split it. Wherever there is a space, I'm going to split wherever there is a space. This entire thing, after splitting, which means a string, after I do a dot split, what is this going to give me? This is going to give me a list of substrings. Now each of them I need to convert it into an integer. How do I do it? For every element in, this is a list. This entire thing is a list of substrings. So for every element in this list, what must I do? I should create a new list which has integer of the elements. Function F5. Now if I say 1 space, 2 space, oops, I didn't print it out. Sorry. I need to print it. I say print the list. And you can also print the SQR of the list. Enter numbers. Is that clear? Now, what if somebody, instead of wanting to enter numbers, say with spaces, I want to enter with commas? Then I need to change the split. I need to tell him, okay, dot split, you should change the default argument of split by saying split wherever there is a comma. Don't split wherever there is a space. That means if I now do function F5, enter numbers, now I should not enter numbers after by saying 1 space. No, not space. I should say 1 comma, 2 comma, 3 comma, 4 comma, 5 comma, 6. It will split wherever there is a comma. If it is a space, you don't need to say anything in the split function, because split function by default takes a space as an argument. But if it is a comma, I need to say it specifically out there. Split wherever there is a comma. Hope that is very clearly understood. This is about list comprehension and taking list input from the user. Cool. Let's go on to the next data structure in the next session.